Welcome once again everybody to the Join the League season number 4, the Asian playoffs for Division 1. It is First Departure versus Arcanys Gaming in this best of 3 series, where Arcanys, they completely rolled over First Departure in game number 1, but by the looks of it already, First Departure going for more of a standard draft for game number 2. Of course, otherwise they would be just falling out. 2-0 for Arcanys means First Departure no chance, so they have to win this one. But in any case, we're HeflaTV, just your English coverage for a lot of things, but I'm Coucher. I'm once again joined by Mike, and well, do you think we're gonna get to a game 3?
I think with Death Prophet Tidehunter, First Departure definitely have a much better chance than their opening in the last game. Not saying that the opening of First Departure last time was terrible, but I mean Brewmaster is a perfectly reasonable hero, but Tidehunter, Death Prophet, the green heroes, they just have so much raw power that Arcanists are gonna have to work a lot harder if they're gonna actually want to win this game because First Departure can mess up a lot more, and they will still be fine. They're not going to have their entire game depending on a good black hole or good laning stage or something like that. They have a lot more safety in their draft, so for Arcanus it's going to be still very possible, especially after how dominant they were showing in the last game. But for First Departure, they have a better chance. At least they have a chance. Just don't pick up Crystal Maiden, please, guys. As much as I love the hero, this just isn't the time.
Yeah, and the Arcanis, they went for a second pick Invoker, a hero that you could rather easily pick up later on as well. So will the rest of the three heroes just be so like unexpected, or why would you pick up an Invoker this early on where you could pick up, for example, just more supports? Could have gone for a Faceless Void for yourself, for example. I mean, what's the plan for Arcanis now with the next three?
It's probably going to be pick up a stunning support hero and then try to play things very aggressively early on. That's the only thing I could actually think of as far as picking up Invoker highly. You want to have value off of that Sunstrike, but then they instantly ban out the Faceless Void, which is kind of weird. I mean, it's good against Tidehunter and Death Prophet, but also Death Prophet Tidehunter are good against Faceless Void, so there is that to consider. Uh, there is no substantial way that comes to mind in order to build around the Invoker, so it has to just be that they want to play this aggressively with Sunstrikes, and up against Tide and Death Prophet, it's possible, but difficult.
I still would have preferred something like maybe an Ogre Magi as a secondary support early on, like Venge Ogre, definitely good combination, and then just pick Invoker in the second phase or sometime later, but we'll see what heroes they're going to go for. If they're not the like go-to supports or something, then it doesn't really matter probably in the end, but First Departure getting their own hands on the Ogre. If you just look at the free heroes First Departure have, it's like the free heroes that are almost always just banned or immediately picked up anyway. It feels really scary just looking at such a lineup being formed, but Arcane is going for an IO now, so some form of IO partner coming up. Are we going to see the just good old IO Tinier? I'm still just keeping my fingers crossed for a Chaos Knight, although it's never going to happen.
Yeah, hopefully it will because Arcanist, you're one game ahead. It's time to experiment, right? I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I was certainly not the follow-up that I would expect from Invoker. I guess eventually you'll get Global Presence with the Relocate Sunstrike, but that's kind of weak. First Departure, they pick up their Slark, and their draft is looking terrifying. As you said, like, these first three heroes are all first pick, first ban material, and now they're going to pick up a Slark who is very, very commonly first, or picked in the first phase, if not banned in the second phase. So, First Departure, they have a whole cast of all-star heroes right now, and Slark right now is going to be running around more or less without answer. Io has next to nothing. Venge has a magic missile, but that's very easy to dark pact out of. So Arcanists are going to need quick disables and or just sheer burst. I think Tiny is the clear pick right now. As First Departure, they're working with three melee heroes. Tiny's going to get so much value with his cleave.
Yeah, it definitely would be good. Also, just Craggy Exterior, a pretty nice ability to have against Slark, for example. So, definitely wouldn't be a bad choice. Although, I guess you could run, well, never mind, gonna be a Phantom Assassin instead. So how do they lane this? Otherwise I would have thought like maybe IO Tiny mid lane, but against the Death Prophet, will even an IO PA lane be enough?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a dual lane mid. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a defensive tri lane for Arcanus. Put the Invoker in the mid lane and then just have random off lane hero. Throw him up towards top. Ideally, someone with a little bit of initiation. The pool is pretty much just Centaur right now. I mean, that looks like it's a pretty clear pick for Arcanus, but yeah, I think it's going to be a defensive tri lane. Contesting the Death Prophet with potential Ogre Magi +1 support roaming as a Phantom Assassin IO, which is okay, but nothing fantastic, then you're gonna have to probably look to better solutions.
Looking at the last bans, a kind of a respect ban, Omni Knight taken out by First Departure. Definitely would have been rather annoying for them to deal with. Guardian Angel excellent against Exorcism. Repel on the Phantom Assassin would have been just a real nut to crack, but Silencer banned out by Arcanys themselves, and First Departure going for the Enigma once again. So once again we see a little bit of greed, but they have so much team fight now. Ogre stun as well to follow up. I mean, at the moment, with Arcanys' lineup of their own, there's, at least I don't see a proper way to punish it this time around.
Yeah, I don't really see it either. IO needs just a lot more time to get going. Phantom Assassin can maybe start things off early, but who can she actually kill? First Departure, they have a very bulky lineup. As Enigma's going to be in the jungle, he's not really going to be in a vulnerable position ever. Slark is just unkillable. Unless you go for something really weird, and that also can throw a wrench in things for First Departure. Axe, not exactly the best hero that you want versus First Departure. They have a lot of survivability. All the heroes are very tanky, but it's a good answer to the Slark. You will be able to call through that Shadow Dance, and well, it's Axe, so there's that. It's an Axe.
Well, I don't care who wins or loses as long as I get to see an Axe, so it's always going to be fun. But by the looks of it, might just be a pure Axe offlane. Of course, up against the dual lane of what's going to be most likely an Ogre Magi and the Slark. It's not all that bad to be an Axe. Slark pounces on you, but you're just gonna spin in his face pretty much. So it's not that easy to get the kill on the Axe. But Axe, if he's struggling a little bit on the offlane, he can always just go into the jungle and make Enigma's life a living hell as well. But Axe definitely needs to get off to a decent start. Of course, if it goes like both offlaners had the game in the last or the first game, it's gonna be just fine for him. Like Brewmaster for First Departure got like a 9-minute blink dagger and was level 7 or 8. Something like that on the offlane. So we'll see how they're gonna actually lane this.
And for First Departure, I think it's going to be a little bit more straightforward for them, but we're going to see who's playing what, because we got Miracle playing on the Death Prophet. Palosson's going to be on the Slark. Got Lubby on the Enigma once again. Over in the jungle, Aluka is going to be playing the Ogre Magi. Hana's going to be on the Tidehunter. Man, day and night difference between Ogre Magi after Crystal Maiden. It pretty much does not get any more different as far as supports are concerned.
Yeah, definitely a lot happier about this situation to be able to man fight and whatnot, but for Arcanys Pok, playing the Axe, so far Boombax is going to be supporting him on the IO, rushing the bottle as well by the looks of it. Mighty Savior will be on the Phantom Assassin mid lane, and the last two will be Fright Butterflies on the Vengeful, with Heinrich playing the safe lane Invoker. So they are playing the PA safe lane after all, or mid lane after all, but it's going to be up against the Slark, so I guess it's not going to be that bad of a lane, and Miracle being safe lane definitely would make it harder for the Axe as well. So they were probably expecting Axe to be offlane no matter what, and they just didn't want the Slark to face up against that.
Yeah, so Axe up on top lane, going up against Miracle is going to be a pretty nice read from First Departure. That lane is going to be much better than it really should be for them, or that they really expected Arcanys to be. Palosson over towards mid is going to be fairly even versus the Phantom Assassin, and oh no, Aluka found the best rune at level 1. He's going to go strong onto Boombax. Bach, you better start calling right now because Aluka can and probably will get this kill. No, Counter Helix is not going to save your IO. First Departure, they're going to draw first blood. Whack. There it is. Aluka going to get a free one on Boombax.
Would even the Berserker's Call have made the difference though?
No, it wouldn't have mattered, but yeah. Ogre with haste is just so freaking good.
Maybe if Mighty Savior was there from the get-go as well with like Stifling Daggers and just a few extra right clicks. But that haste rune, pretty much the best rune to get in that situation. So really nice first blood for them. Already off to a better start than in game number 1, especially for the support. But of course that means that the Ogre will be running all the way home, and Pok, he's just going to take advantage of that and go and creep skip.
He's gonna like get most of it. That's not really how it's supposed to go, but it looks like he's not willing to get punished, as Miracle Death Prophet is a hero that can sufficiently punish the Axe if he does decide to completely cut the lane, and just poking at him with range attacks and Crypt Swarming occasionally. Bach is going to guarantee himself experience in this lane, but I think that was guaranteed anyway. So Axe versus the Death Prophet, very, very much so Death Prophet favored. And over towards bottom, Hana probably going to have the worst time. There is Invoker Venge dual lane here, which is something we don't see all the time. This Invoker also has gone for Quas level 1 and Blades of Attack, usually indicating a Wex build, but on a side lane Invoker, normally it's going to be Exort. So I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be seeing here from the Invoker.
I guess Vex in a sense might be like more of like a ganking style that you yourself actually join fights as well, whereas Exort really wants to be farming up a lane and just sunstriking or something. They do have plenty of setup for sunstrikes and chaos meteors though if they want to go for it. So it might be off chance of just seeing an Exort invoker with the face boots just for some extra mobility. Although Vex, I mean EMP Enigma doesn't have the greatest of mana pools, usually rather low on mana after he comes out of the jungle and just tries to do anything. So it might work out against Tidehunter the same, even Slark. Mid lane though, Polosan takes a lot of damage, pounce, blocked by Mighty Savior, never mind, no it's not. Totally thought he pounced before, but... Well, he makes it out. This 2 lane rather abusive, but Slark 8 last hits compared to the 11.
Bot. Two very tanky heroes going after a poor Venge. Already got slowed down by the Ignite. Luca now is a DD rune. Cold Snap, though, is pretty good, and Luca is going to be warded away. Not taking too much damage because of the recent nerfs to Snap, but Luca still will not be able to get that kill. And Fried Butterflies has got to be very careful. Has one Tango that he's working on, but that's not really going to be enough. This dual lane, as long as the Tidehunter is not going aggressive, is going to be fine, but once First Departure decide to pull the trigger, then they're just too bulky, and there's not enough ways for Arcanys to peel away. So it's not going to be the best case for them when First Departure go aggressive, but in between these bursts of aggression, it should be just fine. Still have yet to see what this Invoker is going for. 2 Quas doesn't really show us anything. It still does kind of indicate Wex build, but who knows? He could go for anything right now. He could just go mass Quas build. Cold Snap only.
That would be pretty fun to see, to be honest, but yeah, we'll see what he's gonna go for in the end. Looking at the other lanes, the Bok up to 6 last, it's gonna try to creep skip again. This time around he's actually gonna stand his ground there as well and go for it. So 6 last hits, not all that much, but Tranquil Boots are just the boots called away. Miracle up to what, 18 last hits. As kind of to be expected as well. Axe solo cannot really do too much to a Death Prophet, I think. At least not when there's some assistance just hovering close by at any point in time. Lobby of course kind of free farm in the jungle on the Enigma. Once again, you would think that it's not the greatest thing to have happen, but First Departure Lobby, he was just completely free farming jungle last game as well, but they got crushed anyway.
Yeah, and the Enigma, you could generally get some ganks going with the demonic conversions, but generally the build for Enigma is we farm up until you get the mech and then use that in order to transition into some sort of greater advantage, whether it be towers, Roshan, anything. Bok is going to run into Lobby, and there are a couple creeps here. Let's see how lucky Bok actually is going to be with the IO coming in. He's going to try to go for Miracle. Call is going to land. Not too many things hitting Bok, but he's going to get 2 spins regardless. Going to get the kill. Now onto Lubby. There's a creep wave incoming as well. Perfect timing for Axe and Lubby. 1 more spin's going to kill him off, but Bok is running out of luck right now. He's not going to get that kill just yet, and now he's going to be forced to fall back. Lands the call into Luca actually. Is going to stand in his ground and fight with the heal from Boombax. Not getting enough spins. The creep's actually aggroing onto the IO, so Bok... No, he's going to turn around. No, he's going to back off, finally. In the meantime, someone else died. It was the Slark to get, I believe, a solo kill on the Vengeful Spirit. Once again, Haste Runes winning the day for First Departure.
Man, First Departure, they've been so lucky with the runes. Double haste as well as a double damage. So, you couldn't really ask for more for this early game for First Departure. But Axe, he just showed the dominance. Suddenly it's up to 23 last hits. He had 6, like what, 1 minute ago or something? Minute and a half maybe. So definitely catching up with this, getting a kill as well, almost getting a couple kills even. Mid lane Polosan goes rather aggressive onto Mighty Savior with the Dark Pact. And so far 2 points into Dark Pact, 2 points into Bounce. Probably can't really make up his mind which one to max.
Oh, top. Miracle gonna get called with a giant creep wave, decapitated. Bok is gonna find a solo kill on the Death Prophet, which quite honestly should never be happening. I guess Miracle just didn't expect to be in range of that Berserker's Call, but Berserker's Call with a full creep wave, you're not going to be lasting long. And now that Culling Blade is up, Bok is also packing the Tranquils, and he's extremely close to a Blink Dagger. This Axe is going to have a large impact in the game, much larger than we usually see. And Polosan over towards mid is going to get jumped on. He will pounce out, trying to bottle in between. Here comes Luca with the Fire Blast on the Mighty Savior, with the bottle keeping him pretty high. Polosan going to go into the Shadow Dance, chase after the IO, but that's not going to happen either. It's going to be Mighty Savior take the most damage here, but he's going to get rejuvenated once again by Boombax. More balls coming out, and Polosan will be swiped down by the PA. Luca can do nothing but watch his ally die, and that's going to be a kill for the IOPA dual lane. Boombax getting that much closer to the level 6.
Boombax though might be in some trouble now. The Tether coming off cooldowns in 6 seconds only. Mighty Savior, he went balls deep though, not afraid of anything, but runs into Lobby as well. That's overextension at its finest. In the black hole as well. Boombax even Tether straight into it. The tornado buys a little bit of time. Mighty Savior still alive. Last Crypt Form brings him down though just before he would have been able to bring down the Death Prophet. Cold Snap into all of the Bok. He arrives as well. Berserker Skull. Nope, just a Culling Blade. Berserker Skull now lands on 2. He's gonna get lobby. Another dunk. Make it 3. Triple kill for Bok. My freaking god, the axe. He is so out of control. 7 minutes in. Tranquil Boots, Blink, Magic Stick, and another 900 gold.
That was awesome. Bok just runs right in, throws 3 Culling Blades, runs out at like max movement speed because of the movement speed buff. And now he's up to, as you said, Blink Dagger, Magic Wand, this axe. He didn't steal any of those kills. Like, those were pretty much him participating the entire time because he joined that fight with like half HP or something like that. So Bok earned every single one of those kills, but in and out, and no one actually knew what hit them at first departure. Just get completely decimated by that axe. And now with that Blink Dagger, currently unknown, I think it's going to be Aluka to feel the brunt of this. He does have 7 armor. So maybe there's a chance that Ogre Magi survives, but I wouldn't really bet on the Ogre right now because Bok, he wants blood, and if Ogre goes for last hits, don't go for last hits. Okay, he's going to see the axe, so they know exactly what's going on right now. They also might have seen the Io's spirits explode, so Bok shouldn't really be getting any kills right now, but he's going to, wow, drop his items, give them to Boombacks just to make the enemies think that this axe is underfarmed. It's unfortunately a little bit too late because the Observer had already spotted everything, but those are some next level tactics from Arcanys.
Yeah, it's really smart as well, but of course he's going for the right clicks and he doesn't really want to leave the Tranquil Boots on the ground just in case a Slar comes from random places, somebody has a random invis rune or something and gets the snipe or picks them up themselves or something like that. So it was doubly smart from them, but he's still sitting under an Observer Ward. Unfortunately for them, they don't know this. So Bok is actually waiting some time, but there are quite a lot of first departure heroes there. They have the Ravage as well. So Bok, if he goes in now, he might be going into his own death, but they're gonna back off. Mid lane, there's the relocate. They want to go for a Miracle. Can Bok get close enough with the blink? No, he cannot. So that's the first relocate. Gank failed, unfortunately, but Arcanys, they're still looking good enough. And the Tornado EMP will catch Miracle anyway. Cold Snap to follow as well. EMP connects. But there's the Ravage coming in. Bok is pretty tanky though. Berserker Skull will... Well, he's not going to try to go for the first one. He's going to go for Miracle. Not going to be able to chase him down. Blink, never mind. Berserker Skull onto Hana only. I swear to God, he had the blink for a second there, but Boombax comes in with a little bit of health, maybe. No, Bok just goes in to die.
And Palosson's also chasing down Boombax. Couple more hits, gets Cold Snaps. So Palosson will not be able to get this kill, but now Heinrich in a little trouble. Axe straight up buys back. Tornado only connecting onto Aluka. EMP will do nothing here, except for drain Aluka. The rest of his mana pool wasn't substantial anyway. Bok has another kill for his axe, and he will claim that one. That was probably a little bit too deep for Arcanys to go for. I mean, Axe, as tanky as he is, as powerful as he is, doesn't actually have that much as far as health is concerned, at least additional health is concerned. So Bok taking the 1v4, wouldn't really recommend that with no creeps there.
Yeah, he just got a little bit too greedy trying to go for Miracle. He could have easily Berserker Skull the Enigma and gotten that kill, or maybe like go for the Enigma, get the dunk, and with the extra movement speed chase down the other heroes. Or if you had like Battle Hunger, even one instance on it on somebody with the extra movement speed might have been enough. So definitely a little bit too greedy there. In the end, with the buyback, he lost quite a lot because he was way farther ahead in net worth of anybody else before that, of course. But now they're getting the tier 2, they're still getting something accomplished. I mean, it wasn't the greatest turn of events considering how far ahead they were, but they're still carrying on the momentum for the most part.
And you said Axe was a lot further ahead than everyone else. He still is on top of the net worth chart, so buying back not really going to slow him down by too much. Just has to not be, you know, too careless with his life right now. When you're Axe, it's very easy to get into this rut where you think you're invulnerable. You think you could, you know, 1v3 and come out ahead every single time. Sometimes you may be able to, but sometimes it'll just get you killed one too many times and you end up getting sufficiently punished. And he might be running into that problem right now as he tries to go for Miracle. This time he has relocation support. It's going to be Heinrich, his Invoker, landing a Tornado EMP onto Miracle. He's going to get decapitated. That's 1 down, and 2 down actually. The Ogre Magi also was decimated in the back line. Phantom Assassin, Venge, making short work of Aluka. So this relocate working out pretty well. Now they're going to rejoin mid. However, into a black hole they go. Boombax and Heinrich are both probably going to die here, and they will. That's a little bit unfortunate. Chose a bad spot to relocate from and get sufficiently punished, but it might not be over yet because the reinforcements are coming. But first departure, they're running off to the south. They will be fine in the end.
Bok was trying to Berserker Skull in the creeps. He's gonna go for it now. I mean, farming up Eidolons is gonna be just fine for them. But yeah, that was really an unfortunate position to relocate out from. They should have expected something like that to happen and have the IO come back solo, not bring Heinrich with him as well. So slight mistakes. And they're not that far ahead yet. I mean, they're still just the excellent team fight of first departure, and we haven't even seen a single exorcism yet, I believe. The Prophet, of course, just at this point in time isn't tanky enough to even survive with the exorcism for too long, probably. But Arcanys, they most likely will just keep on applying the pressure. The only thing is that they don't have the greatest tower push themselves. Just especially since there's no Force Spirits either, Invoker going for the Vex instead. No Orchid coming out yet, just because Invoker has died only once actually, but still, even so, doesn't have the greatest of farm. So tower pushing probably will be like their only downside.
Yeah, and that's a little bit unfortunate for Arcanys, but if they keep taking team fights as convincingly as they have been, it's not really going to worry them that much. They're also going to be going for a late game Phantom Assassin with a Battle Fury, so even if they can't push down towers, they'll be able to get something occasionally. They're going to try to go for Hana, call from Bach being armed, and Hana will not be able to Ravage. In fact, he gets decapitated immediately. Now into Lubby they go. Bach is going to zone out 2 heroes, while Mighty Savior, trying to run away from Colosson, does not have anywhere to go, especially with the Ravage connecting. Phantom Assassin down, however, Bach off on the sidelines, going to get relocated out of the call, actually. This is going to be bad for the IO. Do they want to fight this? Probably not, even though First Departure, all their ultimates are down. Arcanys, they're going to fight this, actually. Maybe? No, Boomax is just completely screwed. Never mind. I saw Axe teleporting in, thought they were going to try to rejoin the fight, but it is not going to be the best fight for Arcanys. They forced the buyback out of Tidehunter, which is very nice. That means no Blink Dagger for a very long time, but still not the cleanest for them.
Yeah, definitely not so, and it was Axe just kind of missing the Culling Blade as well there. It went on cooldown. Well, Polosson drops extremely low, gets EMP'd as well, no mana. Well, never mind, he has a regeneration rune bottled up, so probably the best rune to have for that situation. But yeah, the Axe, just a little bit unfortunate with the Culling Blade. Had he had it, maybe they would have been there, not even relocated out immediately. But you really need the just Culling Blade to just go dunking around and actually killing people off properly.
He's also going to try to clear off a pretty large stack of Ancients, and Axe is the type of hero that can bring you a sufficient advantage in the early stage, but the odds of him outright winning you the game is incredibly low. Very similar to a Pudge in that regard. So, though Arcanys are doing very well right now, they have to fall back on someone eventually. Mighty Savior, he's been participating in many of these fights. He's been dying a couple times, though. This PA needs to get his Battle Fury up in order to transition the team into the late game. Once that happens, then it's going to be a little more uncomfortable for First Departure because, I mean, they have Polosson doing an okay job at farming, but this Slark is not really as influential as anyone else from Arcanys. So right now Arcanys are still in control, but they have to worry about a transition later on. However, they're going to go for Miracle first. Fire Blast going to slow down Bach, but it's not going to stop him. No Culling Blade needed for that kill.
A little bit unfortunate. Axe definitely would have wanted to get the dunk just for satisfaction if nothing else. But he's ready to go again. Has the Blink Berserker Skull off cooldown, and Polosson might be the target now and packs off just in time, although Heinrich has himself an injury zone, maybe with a nice tornado EMP setup. He's just scouting things out at the moment, and Bok. Oh, there's the EMP coming out into the Berserker Skull, guaranteed hit, and Aluka gonna get dunked. Bok, he's on a dominating spree again, just going for the Aghanim Scepter. Polosson actually leaps in onto Bok. Bok just gonna turn it around with a Berserker Skull waiting for him. Wait, never mind, he's not casting it, gonna get stunned up. There's the Berserker Skull. Ayo keeps him alive, relocated out to safety. Dunk. Well, Mech does stop it. Never mind, no relocate. So I guess it got cancelled, but that just went sour for them.
Yeah, it would have been so much better if they managed to actually land that relocate. Now Fried Butterfly is also going to get caught out on the retreat, trying to teleport out, but Lubby was there with the cancel, and that IO unfortunately got shut down completely by the Death Prophet Yule Scepter. Just didn't let that happen, and the Axe going once again a little bit too deep. Might be falling into that trap that I mentioned before, but the plan was for IO to back up the Axe, and clearly that wasn't going to be happening. First Departure, they still have their Ravage up, so they're going to be going for a mid lane push. Tornado going to fly through, but Tornado right now is not exactly the most devastating skill. Wex Invoker, more reliant on his right clicks, but we don't really see as large of an impact from the Invoker in this game as I think if we would have seen an Exhort. EMP Tornado set up for a couple kills, but I don't really know if this build is working out for the Invoker.
It's definitely not as impactful, and his just farming speed is that much slower. Usually Exalt Invokers also go for a Midas, which help out with just farming. And of course pushing would be greater, and well, maybe once he gets to Orchid we're gonna feel the impact a little bit more. Especially against an Enigma, for example. Against Slark, Orchid usually doesn't mean much though. Against Tidehunter he can crack and shell it off as well. And speaking of the Tide, still does not have his Blink Dagger, so struggling quite hard. Polosson also went for Hand of Midas. There's the Tornado EMP, will it actually even land? He's gonna pounce out from it. But it ensures the tower lasted. Io picks it up for himself. So he's building towards the mech. Not awfully close to it though. So Axe is farmed, Phantom Assassin reasonably so. Gonna have his Battle Fury finish now. Pretty good timing as well. But is it sufficient against just the team fight that First Departure will have?
It just really depends on the initiation. Axe, if he gets a call off on the Death Prophet and or the Enigma, then Arcanys pretty much instantly win the fight. But if that doesn't happen, if the EMP Tornado misses, then it's all going to go towards First Departure. At a certain point, Arcanys are going to have enough on their Phantom Assassin and their other heroes so that they could just brute force their way through, but that point is very far away. At the very minimum, PA needs a BKB, but even if she does get that, Black Hole is going to hold her out. So it's still a pretty comfortable situation from Arcanys, though their lead is not really that huge. Like, it seems like it's huge, but if you look at the Golden EXP chart, First Departure, they're still very much so in this game.
Oh, they most certainly are, especially with the XP. Actually, a little bit surprising that it's 0, but I guess the kill score is rather even after all. So Miracle also working towards the BKB, gonna kind of try to ensure his own safety. Blink there picked up on Hana. So First Departure, they are getting ready for the big fights as well. Lobby up to 800 gold has nothing else picked up after that. What do you think Enigma is even gonna go for? Do you still go for a BKB to just go for Blink after, or is it something else entirely?
I think you have to go for a BKB. Up against EMP and Tornado, two ways of canceling off Black Hole. You kind of need that. Blink Dagger would be nice, but there are just so many ways to cancel. I don't know. There's no clear choice for the Enigma right now, but I think BKB, even with swap on the field and call, is going to be safest.
I would probably have to agree with that as well. Mid lane though, First Departure going for a push. Tornado EMP, probably going to get pounced out again by Polosan. Oh, the Berserker Skull came out just a tad too late. Had it landed, almost a guaranteed kill, I would think, but didn't. Blink there, 4 seconds on cooldown for Box. Berserker Skull, 1 second. Are they going to turn around Boombacks? He gets stunned. Hana has the blink, of course, but everybody's backing off for now. But I still think there's going to be a huge fight here.
And there might be. First Departure, they have all their skills available. At the very least, First Departure just really want to take down this tower, but they know that there's Tornado EMP on the other end. They know that there's the Axe who's very, very farmed on the other end, so they're going to play it safe. Still, they have yet to take a single tower in this game. Bottom lane pretty battered, but top lane perfectly healthy right now. First Departure, they are, they're behind 3 towers, but that's pretty much all of the lead that's coming out for Arcanys until Phantom Assassin gets some more work done with this Battle Fury, until the Arcanys side decide to smoke up and look for blood, and they're going to do just that. They're going to go straight into the enemy jungle where Miracle, Hana, and Aluka are all farming. And all these 3 heroes, they're vulnerable right now. Tide has a Blink Dagger. There's a chance he survives. But if they get caught with the call, then they're just going to die. Bach is going to run to Polosan. Blink call. After Polosan blinks into the Axe, where's the rest of the team? Seriously, guys, where the hell are you? There's the blink in from Hana, landing a 3-man Ravage. Tornado going to catch 2 on the response, though. Hana is now caught in the middle of everyone. Bach, though, dropping very low. It's going to be Invoker to get the kill on the Enigma first. Mighty Savior jumps into Hana, crit down onto that Tide. However, he will get multicasted. That will be the death of the PA. Miracle now stunned up, all alone. He's going to Yule Scepter himself up into the air, but he will fall right into the Io Spirits. Will get that kill. That's going to be 3 for 1. Not the cleanest fight for First Departure, not the cleanest fight for Arcanys, but they're strong enough, I think, at this point, just to brute force their way through, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and this First Departure using both the Ravage and the Black Hole as well. Black Hole got pretty much nothing done. It was casted and he died the same instant from I don't even know what. Might have been a Stifling Dagger in mid-flight or something. Tornado towards Polosan, who's going to dodge it and escape for now. But really good fight. I mean, Phantom Assassin died, but even that was just due to Ogre getting a multicast there. Their pushing speed, though, as you can see, rather slow, but with this tower going down, especially with Bok getting the last hit, that's going to be Aghanim Scepter. Courier got sniped by Polosan and has an invis rune to escape. If only they had a gem or something right about now. But, I mean, Courier snipe is nice, but still, Arcanys, they took a heavy advantage with the last fight.
Yeah, and this Slark, that's pretty much all you can hope for right now. Has the Blink Dagger, has the Hand of Midas, so Slark, come the late game, will be able to do a little bit of something, but that last fight was just so dominant from Arcanys, even with botched initiation from the Axe and the rest of the team. It's still them in a comfortable position. Polosan thinking about going for 5 butterflies right now will open up with that hit. However, Tornado is there, EMP as well, call, and Polosan cannot run anywhere now, completely out of mana, has no pounce, and will be brought down. That's a big aspect, I'm sure, of why Arcanys actually chose the Axe, because he's so good versus Slark in that Shadow Dance, but Slark, at this point, should be able to get those kills, but he's clearly not able to.
It's just really well done. Although the Dark Pact got rid of the magic missile, it was just enough of the hesitation time, and now Axe, he went all the way back home to finish up the Aghanim Scepter. Mighty Savior only a recipe away from a BKB as well. They are still heavily out farming first departure, and usually when the Enigma has absolute free time in the jungle. Oh, relocate top lane, they want to go for Miracle. Nice Steel Scepter onto the Axe though. Lobby, he doesn't have the Black Hole. Silence on the Poke as well. There's the multicast from Aloka, who is extremely low on health, but still not going to get chased down thanks to the Ignite. Boombacks. Is he going to be able to bring the Axe with him? Yes, he is. So they don't get the kill, but then again, they don't lose a hero, and Heinrich still around.
He's going to go in, Viz, just looking for some blood. Will not find anyone, unfortunately going the wrong direction. That was kind of unfortunate from the Ogre. You don't really want to be multicasting into a Blade Mail. Of course, it was too late to cancel it. Got destroyed by his own skill. And, well, just like that, Arcanys, they don't really force anything out. They use the relocate for nothing, but they're still hunting for kills right now. And they're going to find Lubby. EMP Tornado right now all but guaranteed to land unless they go for Cold Snap, and they will. Shockwave even from the Satyr helping out, but Eul Scepter once again saving their team. Tornado going to connect onto 3, slow down the Ravage of Hana. In fact, it'll cancel it completely. And here comes Bach. There's so many heroes so clustered up, but he's just not fast enough to close in because of those Tranquils. And first departure, they're lucky to get out of there in one piece, but still, Arcanys, they could still pressure this top lane if they really wanted to. That's going to be it, though. That was pretty anticlimactic.
It had the makings of a potential like massive team fight, 5-on-5, all the ultimates being blown and everything, but in the end nobody died. It's what? Axe even just calling blading a creep at them with of course a 6-second cooldown anyway thanks to the Aghanim Scepter. Tower denied bottom lane by Heinrich. So they're denying even the little bit of income that first departure would get globally otherwise. BKB is done on Death Prophet though, so in the next fight he can feel a little bit safer. Although that little bit might still not be enough with Phantom Assassin just getting like one or two crits on you. Whether he's gonna focus the Death Prophet, who knows. But they're still looking pretty damn good to just take any single fight almost, especially once Spock gets that level 16 and has the maxed out threshold for the Culling Blade.
Well, right now, first departure, they might run into the Invoker. He does have the Ghost Walk. Is there any True Sight here? There should be. There's the Dust, and now we'll call in. Boxley and try to turn things around. Colossal Miracle held out. There's a Ravage. Heinrich might get relocated out, but no, not in time. Bach now completely surrounded. He's going to get another call, but he can't really do anything. Here comes Mighty Savior, a little bit late to the party. Will kill off the Enigma. Now getting crit onto Aluka as well. Fried Butterflies, though. Going to try straight TP out of here. I don't think he can make it. Aluka also trying to TP out, and he will be able to. No, he'll cancel it. In fact, Mighty Savior is now all alone right now. Arcanys have lost 3. They might even lose 4 right now. Is Mighty Savior going to try to TP out? Blur not in time. Not enough. And it's going to be Axe to be the only one surviving off this. That's because he bought back. First departure, they take a 5-0. And, well, I mean, they took down the Invoker pretty much to start things off. It was pretty much nothing but wins for them there.
That was just so horrible from Arcanys. I have no words for it. I really don't. Black Hole wasn't even used. It almost got casted, but at the same time, the PA critted them down now. There's the Exorcism. They didn't have an Exorcism in that fight. That's how bad it went for them. Of course, it was first Invoker dying, then it was Axe being solo there for quite some time. Io couldn't help out the Axe just because he had tethered the Invoker like a second or two before. So they came in like 1 or 2 at a time, which isn't something you should do, so giving away a pretty huge advantage. Although Heinrich gets another tower deny, it's still a huge loss for them.
Yeah, and that's nothing but wins for first departure. They get a tower off of that, so now 2 towers going to be claimed in total by first departure. Still not holding up to Arcanys, but still is okay right now. Arcanys, they just had to be fighting as a 5-man squad. That's something that first departure had that Arcanys didn't. With IO Relocate, you would expect that to be the case most of the time, but even as a 5-man team, they're up against Black Hole and Ravage. It gets pretty dangerous for them, so they're going to need more farm. They're going to have to slowly transition to a point where PA is going to be more and more of the centerpiece of the team. Axe has now been almost completely transitioned away from. Yeah, he will be able to do quite a bit of damage still. He is almost at that level 16, so Culling Blade is almost maxed out, but for Arcanys, this is less of an Axe game now and more of a Phantom Assassin game, and they're not looking like it.
It used to be 7.5k net per fleet, suddenly it's zeroed out. XP, about 6k lead, but now it's about nearing 1k for first departure instead. So they've evened out the game, even taking a slight advantage for XP. And that's just from one great team fight.
Man, that's really all it takes. However, Aegis now on the PA. Palosson going to try to jump forward. He's going to catch Fried Butterflies, but he really wants Boombacks. He goes into the Shadow Dance, trying to hunt down Mighty Savior, but he has a blink out towards the Axe, and that's going to be a clean action. Actually, no, Palosson jumping up to the high ground. Now might be a little bit of trouble because Mighty Savior is going to turn things around. Gets multicasted, though. Black Hole onto 3. There's not much follow-up here, and now the Tornado is going to come through, cancel that Black Hole. Mighty Savior will get mech'd up by Boombacks, will turn around to fight, and now he's going to kill off Aluka as well. Heinrich, the clutchest of tornadoes, and also First Departure, taking a fight without their full 5-man squad. Honestly, I don't really know if that was a good move from Palosson, jumping up to the high ground like that.
Well, he definitely wasn't, although I do believe X just poached off his Berserker Skull just before the Slark actually came to the high ground like that. So both teams, slight mistakes, but First Departure, pretty much all that they gained, well, maybe not all that they gained, but some of it was lost once again, and they're gonna lose it here too on top of this. Mighty Savior still has the Aegis, and thanks to the regenerative powers of the Boombacks, Mighty Savior, well, they relocate top lane, they want to go for Miracle, they need to get the Phantom Strike to land on Miracle. Nice silence though, will prevent it just as it was about to come out. Basher finished the Mighty Savior as well, but Miracle will just be fine. Relocate just doesn't last long enough. But excellent fight for Arcanys. Phantom Assassin getting a little bit bigger and also keeping the Slark at bay. Eye of Skadi will still be finished fairly soon, but I mean, this game is just way more even than I would have thought with Axe just rampaging early on.
Yeah, and as nice as it is to have an Eye of Skadi on your Slark, there's now a Basher on Mighty Savior. With the amount of damage he's putting out, with the backup that he has from the overcharge, plus the minus armor, and the extra damage from Vengeful Spirit, soon to have a Medallion, Mighty Savior will be able to trump Slark most of the time in those 1v1 engagements, even 2 versus 1. When he's hitting for 1200 crits, that's normally going to be a pretty good sign for the team. But still, it's not them in complete control of this game just yet. The relocates from Arcanys have been more on the weak side. There have been a couple that have done stuff, but other than that, it's not really been too spectacular. Now they're going to try to go for Heinrich up towards top. TP out, going to be canceled immediately by Lobby. Heinrich needs to Ghost Walk right about now, but it's a little bit too late. Even if he did Ghost Walk, Ogre is packing detection, so Invoker getting caught out once again by the Eul Scepter of Miracle, which has so far just opened up so many opportunities for the team.
Yeah, I think probably Ghost Walk might have still been like the best way to escape, or the only way to maybe escape, just because you're pretty damn speedy with maxed out Vex and the Ghost Walk. Might have been able to completely outrun them, but it's not that big of a deal, I guess. Although I would still want all of your cores to be farmed, because Phantom Assassin, as strong as he or she may be, it's still only one hero, and just one black hole might be the end of him, even in the just super late stages of the game.
Well, right now they have 2 heroes up on top, Mighty Savior with Boomback support, trying to bait someone up there. But this is going to be pretty dangerous. I don't really know if Arcanys really want to be taking fights like this, where First Departure, they have been 5-manning for, or, you know, they've moving around as a big squad for the past couple of minutes, and Arcanys, they really haven't. They've been trying to keep this game as scattered as possible, which up against Black Hole, Ravage, Exorcism is kind of what you want to do, but not really. They have still the Aegis on the Phantom Assassin. They should be looking to take another tower here, presumably up towards top, as that's the last outer tower left, but I don't really know if they're going to be able to assemble in time, and I don't even know if they're going to get Aegis value. Even if they do, it's possible that First Departure just take a crushing team fight with their ultimates.
Well, there's always a possibility for sure, especially with the Shiva's card finished on Miracle now. He's getting pretty tanky against physical damage as well himself. Bok has himself a plate mill, so gonna have his own Shiva's card as well. Definitely gonna help out somewhat for his survivability. Maybe something like a heart could have been a little bit better for the Axe though, just purely to outlast kind of the abilities that ultimates for First Departure, but Shiva's card not gonna be a bad choice either. Might even be an AC, I guess. Which do you think Bok is gonna go for?
It should, I think, be a Shiva's Guard right now. The physical damage from First Departure is not really that high, so you don't really need the extra armor aura. It's pretty good against Slark also, the Shiva's Blast. Either way, it's going to be nice for him. Maybe the extra mana is the tipping point, but yeah, I don't know. I think Shiva's Guard is a little bit better in general. Mighty Savior, though, he's just going to go to town on the Rax, is taunting anyone from First Departure to come and try to deal with this PA. He's going to get his wish. Bok's going to jump right in, but the Ravage is going to connect out to everyone in the meantime. EMP is going to drain everyone of their mana. Now the mech up. Nice Deafening Blast going to cancel the Black Hole. Bok dropping very low. Phantom Assassin is also going to fall, lose her Aegis. Miracle is going to go right into the front lines with the BKB Exorcism working away and Fried Butterflies, and it will be eaten by bats. That's going to be another kill. Mighty Savior rejoining the fight with the BKB, but can't really get his hands onto anyone. Going to jump to Palosson, but he's already killed off a couple heroes. Palosson needs another crit to actually kill him off, but he's going to leap away at 3 HP. Mighty Savior cannot get his hands onto anyone and will be brought down. Abyssal Blade being delivered a little bit too late in that fight, and only Heinrich is going to be able to survive. Tidehunter has to buy back for that one, but first departure, they take a massive team fight. Luckily, their Slark gets out of there alive.
That was so close, and that was really the mistake of the Phantom Assassin, I think. He went in so deep, maybe chasing the Enigma, I think it was. Great deafening blast though, immediately cancelling the black hole, that was huge as well. But it was really the fact that the Exorcism got so much value. Had the Phantom Assassin been there to kill the Death Prophet, or just like one crit, Death Prophet would have been down. Even just a couple of normal right clicks would have been enough already, to be honest. So it was just kind of bad focus. Also at the same time that Axe got the two-man Berserker Skull, the Tornado threw those two people up. So no value from the Axe at all from that fight. Like, literally Axe did pretty much nothing in that fight.
And that's never what you want to have happen when you have such a high net worth hero doing nothing. You're going to go for top lane, though. EMP going to land onto Aluka is here with full mana pool. Heinrich, though, going to chase after Lubby. Fried Butterflies will cancel any hopes of Lubby to escape unless he blinks into the trees. Tornado will interrupt his TP, and now Lubby is more or less screwed. He is going to get Magic Missile, one right click, Invoker is going to grab that one. Enigma down for 50, and Arcanys, they have everyone back up in this game. Are they going to want to go for it again, though? Because that fight was a 5-for-1, and First Departure, they have no ultimates, and right now, First Departure, they are reliant on their ultimates. Maybe this is going to be one of those games where Arcanys can lose a fight and then buy back or respawn and then get in under the Ravage. It seems like a possibility, but that window is going to close once Hannah gets a Refresher Orb.
Yeah, and even without the Refresher Orb, it's only a 24-second cooldown from now on. As Tower denied once again, Heinrich, he's gotten at least 3 Tower denies to his own name this game already. So, looking pretty good for him. Mighty Savior still the most farmed hero on the map, but his supporting cast is falling off pretty fast. I mean, the Axe, he was looking so good, but now number 4 in net worth. He hasn't really gotten any item upgrades for a pretty long time by now.
And that's usually okay for an Axe, just because he doesn't really need that much in order to do well, but still, it's kind of the name of the game for Axe. You're not going to be winning the game for your team. You're going to be giving your team a lot of advantage, and what we see is that Mighty Savior does have quite a bit of net worth, but it's not enough to instantly win Arcanys the game. They're going to try to push top lane with Bach just by himself. At the same time, though, First Departure, they are pushing down the bottom lane. Mighty Savior's going to get quite a bit of farm from this, has the Abyssal Blade up, but yeah, I don't know. This game is definitely slipping away from Arcanys' dominance in the early game stages, and I don't really know if there's anything that they could really count on in order to instantly get them out of this. Like, they have the BKB on the Invoker, they have BKB on PA, so that's not going to be helping out. Maybe just good initiation is all they need, but so far it's just been so chaotic, and with a Ravage and Black Hole to interrupt it, good initiation is going to be hard to come by.
Definitely will be, as First Departure, they are grouped up. They just don't want to give any chance for Arcanys to get another like random Berserker Skull into relocate or something like that. So they're playing it extremely safe at the moment. They have both their ultimates ready. They are just farming up for the next set of items. Miracle has himself a Vitality booster going for the heart. And they do ping out Mighty Savior and Boombax, and well, they're gonna find Mighty Savior as well. He has a BKB to escape, potentially. Follows he's gonna activate the pounce, but BKB activated, but he's just getting kited around, and the whole BKB duration for nothing. He's gonna be forced to TP out. Fire Blast would have been just a second too late. They still find Boombax though. They are getting split pushed a little bit. Culling Blade gets the kill on Enigma, so that's a good sign. Or never mind, Enigma gets the IO. I was like, what? For a second. My bad, but BKB from Heinrich forced out as well. Gonna have to maybe TP out with this. Nope, he's not even going for a TP out for some weird reason. Gonna just Ghost Walk and run away. But that's just First Departure once again stopping Arcanys' push or whatever that they went or tried to go for.
Phantom Assassin has been running into this problem where she has popped her BKB and then she just can't hit anyone. This time on the bottom lane it was because of Slark's Eye of Scotty, but the Phantom Assassin, if you're not hitting anyone, you're obviously doing no damage. She needs to use that Abyssal Blade. I think if she actually spammed the Abyssal Blade onto Miracle's Death Prophet, then it would have been almost a kill, if not outright a kill, if she gets a crit or two. So Phantom Assassin at this point usually would be very comfortable in getting those kills, but in this particular game they're just not finding it. And also Heinrich up on top, still up on the top lane. He's going to be instantly brought down. Invoker, don't really know what he was still doing there, but these types of losses are not losses that Arcanys can really afford right now.
And Slark has his own BKB now as well. And things are really looking pretty bad, to be honest, for Arcanys at this point. It's not like they're behind in net worth. XP-wise a little bit so, but doesn't really matter that much. It's just them being unable to pretty much find anything good for themselves for the past like 5 or more minutes.
Double damage rune, unfortunately, on the IO, not the PA, and well, top lane being pushed by Exorcism. It's level 3, but the creep wave not really cooperating with them just yet. There it is. So they'll have Exorcism going to town on this tower. By the way, the bats on Exorcism look so freaking weird. It looks nice, I suppose, but they're going to try to relocate in. It's only 2 of them, though. Boombax is going to be brought down in a hurry. Now Black Hole onto Mighty Savior and Bach through the BKB. With the Exorcism still active, they're going to turn things around. EMP, or Deafening Blast Meteor, rather, going to land on a whole bunch of them, but the Phantom Assassin's already dead. Heinrich and Five Butterflies, they're the only ones left. Swap out onto the Invoker. He's going to pop his BKB and land a pretty nice Tornado buyback on the PA. We'll probably clean up a Luca at the very least, but still it's not really a good fight for them. Mighty Savior going to join the fight right quick, and now going on to Colosson. Now going to be stunned, can't hit anyone, needs something else but can't move. Is going to be chain stunned 100 to 0 in first departure. They don't lose a damn thing. And Arcanys, they're going to get their high ground push. They have no buyback. They're going to lose Rakdos here, I think.
They might even lose 2 of them. Bottom racks can also be taken out mid lane. Not so much because the tier 2 is standing, but what a freaking fight from first departure, or rather, what a botched up fight for Arcanys. It's definitely hard to go into Black Hole and Ravage as it is. But Arcanys, I'm not too sure, but like halfway through they might have like tilted a little bit as well, with just kind of bashing their heads against the wall, trying to fight, getting wrecked with high ground pushes and everything. Just first departure, taking excellent fights, and they're gonna find Boombacks as well. Just even worse for them. Arcanys, they've lost 8 heroes now, I think, within the last minute.
Man, that's just a disgusting turn of events for Arcanys. It was already the case was they were just holding on. They were just looking for a small opening, just a small opportunity. But now it just seems all over for them. They lose the fight very decisively. They still have another 35 seconds until they're at their full strength. Bach and Fried Butterflies, they're going to try to jump in onto Lubby. Yeah, Tornado's going to fly through. They might get one Culling Blade. Swap back and the Enigma will get the kill. But first departure, they already got what they came for. They already took the entire set of top lane Raxes. And they have a whole bunch of golden experience to boot because of that. Arcanys, they are going to have to really step things up, pull out a Miracle, but unfortunately for them, Miracle's on the other team.
Oh man, usually when PA, for example, is this found, it's just GG, but he really cannot just right click. He's getting stunned every step of the way, or just getting kited around, one or the other. Bok hasn't been able to do anything on the X as well. Some Berserker Skulls here and there, but haven't really seen any dunks for the extra movement speed. Just nothing happening, nothing going in the way of Arcanys at all, like in the slightest.
Well, they're smoked up. They're going to run into Colosson, but they're all going to go the wrong way. And Colosson's going to blink out of there and be just fine, A-okay. And Roshan is up. This is maybe an area where Arcanys can take a fight, but that's only because Black Hole's down for another 30 seconds. With Ravage, Black Hole, and Exorcism, as powerful as Arcanys are in the Roshan pit, First Departure are just a little bit more so. And Miracle, he's going to think about going to the Roshan pit, but no, there's no reason for them to risk that, I think. Go for a tier 2 tower. That's not going to be contested. Arcanys, they're going to try to sneak it. If this works out for them, then maybe they have a chance of coming back into this game. But I don't really think this is going to. They have a nice ice wall set up. Bach also in the front line, zoning everyone out. So Invoker is doing his best, and he was doing a pretty damn good job at buying space for Mighty Savior. Will grab an Aegis, but will it matter? Miracle on the front line is going to be jumped upon immediately. There's the Abyssal Blade, no crits just yet. Call onto him as well, but Black Hole onto 2. No follow-up just yet, but swap back into Lobby a little bit too late. Ravage now connecting onto pretty much everyone. Hana's getting a crit down immediately, but Mighty Savior once again struggling to catch up to anyone as Miracle is going to chew everyone up on the sidelines. Will burn the Aegis. Heinrich is going to try to run away from the Slark. That's not going to happen either. Phantom Assassin has to fight to the death, and her death is going to be coming a lot faster than she would really prefer. It's a triple kill for Miracle. Colosson unable to kill off Heinrich in the end, but no more buybacks from Arcanys, and First Departure take yet another massive team fight.
Black Hole pretty damn great. Swap was just way too late, unfortunately, for Arcanys. And although the Ravage, I think, was just at the same second that Phantom Assassin's BKB was about to end, so it didn't even get hit by the Ravage, it still just wasn't enough. Didn't get any crits onto Miracle either, so wasn't really the luckiest of right clicks for them. But Miracle, he has just so much armor to work with anyway, and he has 2.8k HP. They just do not have enough at this point, and there's even a Monkey King bar finished on Slark. Miracle gonna finish his ACs soon enough as well. This game probably is GG, and it looks like we're going to a game 3.
Yeah, I don't think at this point there's anything that Arcanys can do. Being 2 Raxes down is bad enough, and not having everyone alive right now is just the icing on the cake for first departure. So this game, for all intents and purposes, is just all over right now. They're gonna, fight to the death, and all credit to Arcanys. When you have such a great start on your axe, you generally don't expect to be losing that fight in the end, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Plus, I'm gonna jump in, snipe the Vengeful Spirit. Mid lane melee gonna go down. Mid lane range also soon to fall. Bot gonna land a nice 2-man call, but I don't really think this is gonna result in anything. They're gonna kill off the Enigma, but Miracle just way too tanky at this point. Heinrich, or Polosan rather, is nigh unstoppable. And look at Bot just trying desperately to catch up to some enemies. He's gonna call one, but that Tornado has been messing with Bot's calls pretty much every single time. They're going to maybe kill Miracle, but Mighty Savior can never really get crits when he needs them. You just hit Mighty Savior like 4 or 5 times, no crits. There is going to be the last fight. Polosan's going to instantly snipe out the Invoker. Now going on to Boom back to the BKB. Polosan's going to get a double. And now it might be a triple. Well, Mighty Savior can't do anything versus the Shadow Dance. Bach, though, going to give a lot of agility to Polosan. What is he at right now? Plus 28 or something around those lines. Fighting to the death. Bach looking for a Culling Blade. Can't get it on cooldown. It's going to be a triple for Polosan and a full team wipe for the team. Polosan's right back at half HP, and there's nothing Vengeful Spirit can do about this. Arcanys just tap out.
It's just Bok. He used his Calling Blade a little bit too early on Polosan. Otherwise, had he used it like second or two later, would have been that kill. Probably immediate Calling Blade onto Ogre as well, just because he was in the threshold. There was one buyback from the Axe though. They might get Polosan still, maybe if they're lucky enough, I guess. Bok. Blink still on cooldown though, so not even gonna happen. Not for now. There's the Blink, Calling Blade immediately. Berserk Skull not gonna get it onto Polosan. They get the Gem, but well, I guess it's not supersized Mega Creeps yet. Still, they're losing tier 4s. They're losing the entirety of their base. They're screwed.
Yeah, and the range Vax, not the one that regenerates, so Slark can in theory just backdoor this if he really wants to. Is not going to, but it's slow but steady pressure onto this tower. And as far as desperation plays from the Arcanus side, they're going to need a Divine Rapier, but no one on their team is actually close to that, and the only person who could actually use it well is the Phantom Assassin, who is also not really close to that. Polosan, he's going to go into the enemy base with an Invis Rune. Boombax is so dead right now. He's going to get mini stun a couple times. Tether out. Nope, not in time. Tornado's going to come through Fortification, holding the range Vaxes for now. Polosan's going to go into the Shadow Dance, but it's going to dodge the call for now. Polosan, go for the Raxes. Fight to the death. Popping the BKB. What is he going to do? He's going to think about pouncing out. He misses the pounce. He's just going to run out. He has plus 30 stacks of Essence Shift. He's going to get dunked, but Lovey's going to be the hero. He will grab the Mega Creeps. And now Arcanys, they have to A-move down the mid lane and hope for the best. Otherwise, they are 100% out of this game.
Well, even then, there's buybacks on all the heroes that are dead, but there's the Ravage coming out. Only catches Heinrich, but with the Exorcism, they're going to bring down the one hero. Bok jumps in as well, probably to his own death. I mean, Blade Mail is activated, but Miracle barely just itches from it. There's the Ravage, though. Will catch Mighty Savior as well. And that's probably going to be the end of the game, I think. Although Hana going to lose his life. One more crit from Mighty Savior. That's all they need. Fright Butterfly is going to get chased down, though. Silence onto Mighty Savior. No Phantom Strike, no nothing. Just has to run away. And well, this is just over.
Are they really not going to tap out now? I mean, they have IO. There we go. Okay. It was over for a couple minutes now, but now it's officially over. First Departure fight back. They withstand the Axe's early game, and ultimately their late game, their team fight, I think, is ultimately prevailed. And Arcanys also just botching a couple too many initiations. And just like that, we're going to a game 3.
Indeed, we are. So First Departure keeping their hopes alive to advance to the semi-final of the Joint Dota League Asian Division 1 for Season 4. But guys, we are going to head into game number 3's lobby now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed both the game as well as the casting. If you did, you can follow us more on HeflaTV in general. It is Facebook and Twitter.com, HeflaTV for both links. You can also find them below the stream. If you want to leave some feedback or just follow the casters, it's at Coucher for me, at Mike Lors for my co-caster. It's also on title or in the title on Twitch. So see you guys for game number 3.